it was the soccer championships, right? Greetings, greetings, Earthlings. All right, so this is gonna be the entire gaming community will want to hear this review, my friends. Yeah, so it's like this. The point of this video is to make like a shorter version to that episode. All right. What they were talking about on that show is exactly one of the main reasons. Maybe I'll tell you I collect video games, which people have done maybe more than a decade ago, and a lot of like regular people aren't hip to it, which is the world of speedruns. So there's a community in Asia doing this, and there's a community in America doing it. And they've been posting these videos for 15 years and not longer of different people figuring out how to do speed runs. So excuse me for 1 second while I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm doing some idiotic 1 minute, y'all. I'm sorry for the pause, y'all. Excuse me for 1 second. Okay. I'm not gonna mess around with that anymore. That was a bad thing I was doing. Picking this old vintage Caribbean shirt that's probably like from the 1980s. I was about to like jack it up. That's a part of the game though, baby. But let's just go back into this. So they were mainly talking about speed runs. And I would immediately refer to y'all GDQ, which they're not the main thing. Excuse me for mainly referring them. I would refer anybody who's been doing it before GDQ, the whole community of people who play video games and develop to play it in speedrun times. That's what made me get back into the curiosity of buying a lot of the games I bought with the behalf of not playing it in a day's time, but completing the game in 2 hours like a movie. I thought that was kind of cool. So, this video is gonna go even more in depth to even what they was talking about on this 25-minute, half an hour episode or whatever. Cause I'm already like kind of ahead of that. I follow like age. Okay, aside from the Tetris that they was mentioning to you, it's gonna come back into play, y'all, like the old Street Fighter games and any old fighting games. That is true what they were saying on that episode. That through the past decade or two, or through these 30 years, people really figured out how to master these games even better than it took up to right now. Even like how to put in certain type of code into certain video games, and like from the first stage you could beat the whole game because like you'll crash the game. Um, a lot of this information is on social media, so I want to go a little deeper into this, and they know about this. The gentleman at Pixel Plus, they had an episode about the flea market. Let's say they might think they had a couple of them, but no. They had a specific one. And this guy was breaking down like the politics of flea markets. And then they kind of like threw something out there in the air about him selling like obscure things. Maybe 2 weeks later, I think I jumped into that realm. They didn't really fully say words or really break it down, but they said something about how he was able to sell like a little keychain or something for a lot of money, or like for a reasonable profit. I found that realm 3 months or 4 months ago, maybe a week or two after that episode. I figured out what that maybe realm is. Yo, this is deep, y'all. This is deep. And I would say to y'all, if you study, it's not only watching YouTube. You gotta read. You gotta read social medias. You gotta know what words to type into search engines to see what's going on with those different kind of categories of things. It opens to your mind to when people be talking about stuff on different YouTube channels. You'll kind of know more what they're talking about. Like this new episode. I don't get why the entire community needs to. I'll be honest with you. As a review to that episode, I don't fully get it. Like I think I think they should change the headline to something in the context of talking about speed runs. You know, the speed runs maybe gonna be the new trend that's gonna come back or something. You know, because everybody finds out about information at their own time. Like the category of games I'm buying right now is 15 years old and older than that, and most people aren't really talking about it, but they're not cheap. There was one I saw for like 20 something bucks I could have bought that the only listed online for it is like 100 and change in the Western region. There's a lot of different regions of video games, y'all. It's not just PAL and Japanese. Pixel Squads, you have to talk about that. But I'm not trying to go too far in depth with stuff like that. Um, but they give you hints. You can learn from this show. I always say that. Um, Price Charting need to update their webpage because I've spoken to another. I reached out to a CEO yesterday of a game company that people are buying their video games and they have an application dealing with collecting games. And he kind of took into consideration what I was saying that you're missing kind of a large database of games that you of all. I'm not gonna go into depth about it, but I kind of a little bit judge people depending on like their backgrounds, how much they should know about stuff, or like just a little bit more of an extent than common people. So yeah, they were talking about speed runs, GDQ, y'all. Games done quick, or just watch speed runs in general. Look up speed runs on. But I would really tell you, aside from speed runs, I would tell you just to go on Twitter and start finding the community. There's a community of people in Asia and whatnot, and they be kicking butt in these games. Like they figured out the full limits of combos like in Street Fighter 2 and whatnot. That was not common to the past of fighting games. It was not common for people to do stuff like that. So have a good day, y'all. Peace out.